Good Monday morning. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.coms, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. And this is the daily video forecast discussion for the last Monday and actually the last day of this month, March 31st, 2014. It's a very interesting start to a Monday morning here with low pressure seen on the visible satellite imagery and cold air cumulus. Look at this in the ridging here. We have a lot of instability in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's showing up on the water vapor too this morning. Here you can visibly see our channel, our closed upper low here spinning off into the northeast gradually. There's still a bit of light snow, sleet, and rain across the region this morning, and this is showing up in bright banding. This is where the radar actually reflects back the precipitation echoes, and ice in the clouds has a higher reflectivity than rain. So it doesn't mean that this is actually precipitating very heavily. What this is bright banding. So the radar shows this as the ice particles are reflecting back with a higher decibel, or a higher sound, actually refracting back towards the radar beam itself. So we've got precipitation circling around from the northwest to the southeast this morning, right along the immediate coast, and some of these is producing some light snow and some sleet across the region this morning as well. Again, here's another better look at this. You can see the purples and reds here. This is indicative of cold air and unstable air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere working its way down to the surface as this upper level low, this closed off low, begins to finally spin out towards the north and east later this morning. You can see this very well in some of the observations this morning. Central Park is light snow at 7 a.m. this morning. It's also snowing lightly at LaGuardia Airport, at Kennedy Airport. Newark had some rain. And we also had a little bit of light snow here in West Orange at the Weather Center here. Some sleet also being reported out on Islip, some light rain in Shirley. And we can see temperatures are generally running in the mid to the upper 30s across the region. Dew points are the air is pretty saturated still. And the winds are all out of the north, and they're pretty gusty this morning, making the wind chills feel like temperatures are in the upper 20s to around 30. So it's a quite chilly, damp, raw morning out there. And obviously the surface station reports coming in this morning also showing the cloud cover and the precipitation just about across the Hudson River Valley into northeastern New Jersey's metro area, the New York City metro area. A smattering of either some light sleet, some light rain, or some light snow falling, and all of the winds are out of the north, shifting, starting now to veer more towards or back more towards the northwest. And they're pretty gusty this morning, sustained winds at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, especially out on Long Island, and also off the central and southern New Jersey coast. And the wind gusts are more impressive, and that's telling the tale of why the wind chills this morning are on the rather chilly side. Latest surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows the storm system evading or moving actually away from the east coast, but still light precipitation, wintry precipitation, cold gusty northerly flow this morning too, as the storm system begins to finally pull out to the north and east. High pressure ridging across the Ohio River Valley all the way down to the Gulf Coast states will be influencing our weather later this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow is going to be a much, much nicer day, and temperatures could be on a much warmer side tomorrow with downslope flow, nearly calm conditions, and a brilliant amount of sunshine. Here's our next disturbance here across the mid-plains, focusing rain and snow on the north sector here across the upper Midwest. This will move towards the Great Lakes and will drive this cold front towards our region later Thursday and Thursday night before stalling out. And that means more precipitation is on the way after a break during tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Watches, warnings, and advisories we have on the North Shore, South Shores of Connecticut, North Shore of Long Island, South Shore back bays here into the New York Harbor, all the way out towards the South Shore and east ends of Long Island. Also on the New Jersey coastline and back bays here into the Chesapeake and Delmarva region. We have small craft advisories running anywhere from about 1 p.m. Tuesday on the North Shore and South Shore of Long Island up till 8 o'clock tonight there, 1 o'clock on the open ocean waters of New York City, Long Island, and also into the back bays until 8 o'clock tonight. Also, small craft advisories until early tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So it's going to be choppy seas and strong wind gust here, and possibly even some freezing spray as well. Over the inland areas, we have a flood warning until tonight at 11 p.m. And this flood warning is in effect for, if we can pull this up, we have a flood warning for the Millstone River at Blackwell's Mills affecting Somerset County, and that will be in continuation until uh, well, later tonight, early tomorrow morning. Early this morning, the flood stage was at 9.8 feet. Flood stage is at 9 feet, so there is some minor flooding occurring, and some minor flooding is still forecasted. The impacts of a 10-foot at the DNR Canal is flooded by the Millstone River, so this is going to be something that we're going to continue to monitor and watch throughout the day. We have an aerial flood warning until 11:30 this morning, and that's also for the region, which includes the small streams in central Middlesex County in northern New Jersey until 11 a.m. this morning. And that will be subsiding and as the water relaxes there. And finally, we do have a flood warning until 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning. This is a larger one now, covering much more of an impact area. Pemberton affecting Burlington County's Rancocas Creek and the north branch of that. And that is a result of flood warning for the north branch of this until late tonight or early Tuesday night, or until the warning is canceled. 9 p.m. on Sunday, the stage was at 2.5 feet. The flood stage is 2.5 feet, and minor flooding is forecasted. The impacts of 2.5 foot, some minor flooding begins on the East Hampton along the Rustic Peninsula and the Paducah roads. The Lee Street, Joe Road, and Jill Court in Southampton also begin to flood. And we're still seeing in the 8 to 10 day means here the battle that's going on with the atmosphere, the European, the GFS, and the CMC Canadian model, showing much more ridging here. This is a positive PNA signature. Over the western United States, we still have our low retrograding back towards the south of the Aleutian Islands, seen pretty much on all models in the ensemble means here. And also in the means, a trough in the northeastern and mid-Atlantic coast states, a little bit deeper on the GFS, and to some degree a larger spread here on the Canadian as well. That means that we're going to be in a battleground for cool and wet conditions predominantly throughout the region over the next 8 to 10 days. NamWRF, 4-kilometer reflectivity composite cloud forecast going into the future here. If we started today off, the NAM model might be a little faster in clearing the skies out by later this morning and early afternoon, but it does so effectively anyway by later this afternoon. Skies should be mostly sunny, and we still have brisk northerly winds across the region this morning too. High clouds really get in here by tomorrow afternoon, so even tonight and tomorrow morning is going to be nice around here in relative shape compared to this morning. And the clouds build in as the warm front nears the region. Probably a little spokes of some light rain well to the north and west of the region on Wednesday morning after midnight, and then the front begins to stall out or slow up as it reaches the mid-Atlantic coast states or the northern mid-Atlantic coast states in southern New England by the afternoon on Wednesday, with just a couple of disturbances moving along it in the warm air surging in from the southwest, and could find some light rain showers here. The main precipitation event looks to occur later on Thursday as the front stalls across the region and precipitation begins to ramp up once again. Once we get rid of the clouds this morning and the wind, we could probably get temperatures close to near where they should be in the lower 50s according to the NAM for this afternoon. Temperatures drop down into the lower 30s to upper 40s or lower 40s across the region tonight and tomorrow morning. Temperatures rebound nicely again back to near seasonal levels during the day on Tuesday afternoon with plenty of sunshine. Look at this warm tongue trying to work its way in here during the day on Wednesday. Hopefully by Wednesday afternoon we could find some temperatures approaching or surpassing 60 across southeastern Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, central and southern interior New Jersey, down through the Delmarva region as well as the front begins to stall out. And a battleground here begins with precipitation breaking out. Look at this, temperatures in Virginia in the 70s forecasted by the NAM on Wednesday afternoon. Just to the north in Ohio, temperatures are in the 40s. So this is definitely a battleground here with our cold front lying in a northwest to southeast direction and stalling out. GFS, basically 500 millibar heights and vorticity. We've got a sampling of storms here from all over the Pacific here, undercutting the ridge axis here across the western United States, and basically a zonal flow with a bit more troughing from time to time as these areas of low pressure begin to cut off and rotate rapidly to the east across from west to east across the United States. And if we look at this, here's the storm leaving southern New England, its coastal waters, a little bit of ridging coming in for later today, tomorrow, and that's going to provide basically much nicer weather tomorrow. And our flow continues on a zonal pattern with more digging of Pacific energy here through the Central Plains by Thursday. This leads to a storm system pulling out along a frontal boundary here on Thursday and Friday, and that leads to precipitation as this low begins to cut off and lift towards the Great Lakes region. Again, another progressive pattern diving down with another mean trough access here across the Central Plains by early next week. And this one digs and closes off somewhere off the mid-Atlantic coast early to late next week. So it's a very active pattern indeed, and a very progressive one as well. At the surface, this is what it looks like. The storm system leaving southern New England's coastal waters. High pressure then builds in across the region late tonight into tomorrow morning. Nicer southwesterly flow builds in ahead of a warm front during the afternoon on Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon particularly could get warm sectored into the 60s across central and southern New Jersey of the Delmarva region. And then the front begins to kind of stall out with waves of low pressure, isentropic lift, warm air advection building in and riding gradually from the Midwest all the way into the southern New England coastal waters. A couple of these will start out with some light rain showers across the region, probably late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. That batch moves to the north. Here comes another batch on Thursday night and Friday morning, getting into the area. Some moderate rain in this region too. And then finally, the upper level low begins to close off and gets pinched off here across the Great Lakes region, getting up towards the St. Lawrence River Valley, drives a cold front through the region. That will probably pass through and off the coast sometime during Saturday, but still could see pockets of or periods of rain across the coastal regions, even the interior areas, as the low begins to occlude across the Great Lakes on Saturday afternoon before drying and generally warmer seasonable conditions gets going here for late Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and next Sunday as well. But here's our next disturbance rolling down through the upper plains, and high pressure will be leaving the mid-Atlantic coast states early next week, and then eventually we'll get into a wet pattern again as this low begins to close off, and a wet pattern begins again once again by the middle part of next week. So if you're looking for above average temperatures and bright sunny skies, they're going to be interdisplaced by many cool and wet days ahead over the next 10 to 14 days. For Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and of course live feeds on both websites 24 hours a day. Don't forget that most people are otherwise, but you, my friends, are weatherwise. You have a great Monday, and we'll be back for your April Fool's forecast, which looks absolutely nice tomorrow. So the weather will not be a fool for you, and you won't be fooling around with temperatures basically near seasonal tomorrow with lots of sunshine, and we'll get into April Fool's and the rest of that during tomorrow. Have a good Monday, everyone.